it is pretty clear mathematically, it looks like anyway, that Reid is being targeted by a supposedly random test. And Stephen A., I have read recently that one of the ways to go about proving that that's the case is to see if there are digital footprints left that show that someone overrode the algorithm that selects the random players to be tested. Let me just say, I hope they go forward with this. I hope they find whoever overrode it, because it seems very, very likely to me that someone did. I hope that person is punished. I hope the league, to me, this is beyond a civil thing. To me, this kind of abuse of power, my gut tells me jail time should be involved. But I understand maybe that's a severe reaction. Maybe we're just talking about some kind of civil penalty. But that's how infuriated I am by the idea of this kind of abuse of power to exact retribution. I really dislike it.
Well, my response to you is be very, very happy that you're not a black man, because my initial response is, are we surprised? I mean, this is being black in America, brother. I'm here to tell you that right now. This is why I'm looking at it, and I have a relatively nonchalant attitude towards it compared to you, Max Kellerman. I completely 1,000% agree with everything you just said. Not a single syllable that came out of your mouth I disagree with. I get exactly where you're coming from. But my response would also be, and so what? You didn't know this was coming, Eric Reid? So let me get this straight. You take a knee, you protest. All right? Obviously, what's the residual impact of that? We know how grotesquely unfair it was. We know how the issue was changed. We know how the issue was hijacked by the President of the United States. We get all of that. So what happens thereafter? After that, you file a collusion case against the National Football League. In the midst of filing the collusion case or having the collusion case while looking for an NFL job, you tell teams you will not guarantee them you will not kneel. Then you turn around, you go to Carolina, you still take a knee. And you're surprised that this drug test, that you're being inconvenienced this way. And by the way, it was 6 times, not 7 times, even though it's 7 times overall. The bottom line is the first test you have to take once you get to a new team, performance-enhancing drug test, substance abuse test, that kind of thing. So that's a given. But here's the deal, y'all. The fact of the matter is that who didn't know this was coming? It's so predictable, it's laughable. And oh, by the way, you know what makes it even more laughable? That even Eric Reid would tweet about this? The Players Association signed off on it. The computer system, the process, they collectively negotiated this, giving the NFL the power to do this. And so whatever computer system, the algorithms, all of the stuff that you brought up that we've been reading about, Max, the players are fully aware of it because the Players Association is aware of it. When players complained about it in the past, I don't know whether it was Odell Beckham Jr., James Harrison or somebody else. But when they complained about it in the past, the Players Association actually said to the players, well, there's nothing wrong with the methods. There's nothing wrong with the process because they collectively bargained for it. They agreed to this. So if you're the National Football League and you know this, then you're Eric Reid, who's smart, highly intelligent, very conscientious, obviously, and somebody as a black man we should all be proud of. Let's also not walk around with blinders on, acting like we're surprised by what's transpiring. You knew what the hell was coming. This is par for the course. Well, I'm not surprised at all, not even a little bit.
I want to engage with the point you make along racial lines. You said, Max, as a black man in America, you, Stephen A., are not surprised. You say so. And what I say as a person, as a human being, who would like all people to be treated with dignity, I would say, and this goes along the lines of white privilege, how we've discussed this and debated this as it relates to the process in Philadelphia. You say no black GM would be able to get away with that. And my point is not that white people should give up their privilege. It's that we should all insist that everyone is so privileged, that everyone is treated, with respect and dignity. Yeah, no, right. What I would say is this. I understand your point. In other words, there have been so many injustices against African Americans in this country that if every time one came up, black people got indignant, they'd be indignant all the time. And my point is the attitude can never be so. If you must be indignant all the time, then so be it. But I would say to white people in that case, don't leave that up to just a subset of your fellow Americans and human beings. We should all be indignant. We should all accept that responsibility. We should all accept part of that burden. I am indignant Every time I see this kind of a miscarriage of justice against another human being, and that includes against black people, where it's happened a lot to them.
Well, first of all, let me say this to my brother from another mother. I appreciate where you're coming from. I'm thankful for your position, sincerely and truly. Trust me when I say this. And I'm speaking on behalf of what I imagine to be millions upon millions of black people throughout this nation to hear you say what you just said. I thank you for it. But it's incredibly imperative that you understand that as a black person, as a black man, we can ill afford to be indignant all the time.
You're right. It shouldn't be left up to you.
Even though it's justified, the fact of the matter is that if we were to act that way, then guess what? We're on a fast track to purgatory. Yep. We're on a fast track to nowhere. The reason why is because the system is designed to work against us, to keep us marginalized, pigeonholed, and minimized specifically because of that reason. So you see people trying to exacerbate black folks all the time, doing stuff that they know good and damn well is wrong, hoping that you will react the way Max Kellerman thinks is the right thing to do, and it will work against us.
Let me tell you this. You're absolutely right. As an African-American man or person in this country should not be burdened with walking around as the angry black person who could be then stereotyped that way all the time, constantly indignant. So allow me in this instance, my brother, to stand up and be indignant for you if I must. And that goes for everyone, every conscientious person in this country who sees this kind, and this is mild compared to real injustices, but who sees this injustice in broad daylight. It is incumbent upon us all to be indignant about it, and I am.